everybody. Welcome back to the fifth installment of our podcast. You heard what I said. I'm your brother JP. I got my brothers Lateef and Dwight with me.
What up?
First of all, I just want to say to everybody, thank you for the continued support, for the feedback. We appreciate the comments, all that, the likes, the shares. I just want to ask y'all to continue to like it, continue to subscribe, share it with your people so we can grow this thing, man. It takes a village. So we need y'all help. You know what I'm saying? For real. So,
Indeed.
you know, with that said, I think the first thing I want to talk about, of course, you know, we all music lovers here, and you know,
Yes,
we live for that good competitive thing going on. So, first of all, I know y'all saw the new thing of the Jeezy and Gucci battle, but what happened to Jeezy and T.I.? Why they switch it up? Like, what happened? I mean, I heard nobody said anything, no word from Swiss or Timberland, whoever's that verses about it, but they just said what the people want.
They said that's what the people want. That's what the South wanted.
I wonder if T.I. backed out. I doubt it.
I don't think so.
I think actually Tip had the
upper hand.
Exactly. He might have been favored slightly. You know what I'm saying?
Over Jeezy, yeah.
Yeah. He might have been slightly, 2 points over Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? But I think the Jeezy and Gucci battle is wild for so many.
It sounds dangerous.
You know
it really sounds dangerous.
Right? It's dangerous, man.
Anybody who knows the history of them wouldn't ever think that they would be in the same room together, much less celebrating each other's music. You know what I mean? So, I'm very interested.
You think they're going to be in the same room?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that's how it's been, right? Yeah. Since they started being like, they haven't gone back to it.
Now, do I believe it's going to be a bunch of people there to make sure that nothing crazy happens? Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think Swizz had extensive talk with both of these people. Look.
Listen.
I mean, they both changed their image a little bit.
Yeah.
Jeezy running around looking like ghosts.
Yeah. Meeting with Biden.
Yeah. Gucci Man that turned himself into a respectable citizen.
They got some new teeth, got married and all that. Got in shape. You know what I'm saying? Gucci had a nasty body before. But like we were talking earlier, it was like, I don't know too many of Gucci songs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not full disclosure.
I wasn't a fan of Gucci.
Right.
But when you see other people gravitate towards another artist like that, it's almost impossible not to at least listen to some of their music. Like, let me find out what the fuss is. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like, I can admittedly say that I know maybe no more than 5 or 6 Gucci songs.
Like, and I don't know the name of them.
Instantly. You know,
that's a stretch for me.
You know what I'm saying? That's a stretch.
That's a stretch.
No, but I know, because I love this game, this hip hop world we live in. You have to pay attention to the impact he has had. Like, it's no denying his impact. Denying his impact. Jeezy as well. Now, Jeezy, I may know a little bit more songs because, you know, I was a little bit more familiar with his work, but
he got 4 with Hove.
For smokers with Hove.
Right. That's true. I mean, but you know what? I can't honestly say who would win. You know what I'm saying? I really, like, I would have to bow out and see, like, you would expect me to say that Jeezy would have the upper hand because I know his music more, but I feel like Gucci's impact is serious, man. Like,
I'm gonna defer to the South on this one. I'm gonna enjoy watching it. Listen to some songs that we as Northerners might not have gotten into. You know what I'm saying? As the people in Atlanta too. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe the stuff that Gucci and Jeezy was talking about, and maybe the time that they was talking about it. You know, it's just like, I'm quite sure there's certain cats from Atlanta or Florida or Texas that will listen to some Jada or some Fab and be like, I don't know what these niggas are talking. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be like, yo, I can't wait to hear, you know what I'm saying, this joint. I can't wait to hear that joint because of what we are. So I think I'm excited about seeing another region celebrate their kings. You know what I'm saying? And we hear songs that we might have not been privy to or might have not rocked a lot.
Right.
And we see in the comments on the verses that everybody that know about it is like, yo, this that joint right here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to see that most definitely.
It's going to be entertaining either way.
Either absolutely going to be entertaining. I definitely look forward to it. I look forward to learning some new old songs. You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't, like I said, I don't know many of Gucci. I know a little bit more Jeezy, but both of their impacts on this game is undeniable. So it should be very, very interesting.
But I also know this. I can't even, like, when I saw that, I thought it was a joke.
When because they switched it up too.
Yeah.
Like if you saw it initially, it was just them two. Would you think it was a joke? But just because it was T.I. first and G.I.
But they didn't announce a change. They just put it out.
If I saw that initially, I'd have thought it was a joke.
Gucci and Jeezy.
Yes, you killed one of his mans.
Allegedly,
right?
Right.
There shouldn't be no talk about nothing from now on. Like
ever.
It's lifetime beef. At least that's how we know the streets to act. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, I don't know what kind of conversation that. And then I saw episode of T.I.'s podcast.
And
his Jeezy was on there dissing Gucci.
Recently,
right?
Okay.
Yeah. Right? And T.I. asked Jeezy, "You think you ever see us sitting at a table with this other guy that we not naming right now?" And Jeezy just started laughing, like, you know. And he didn't want to talk to me like, "Yo, this nigga killed my man. How you even gonna ask me that?"
Right.
Yeah.
I looked at it like, don't even ask me no shit like that.
I wonder.
Looking forward to seeing the vibe and the temperature of the room when they're in there together, if they are in there together. Because like we
I'm not sure about that.
I was just about to say, we think that's a done deal because the last few verses have been like that.
Right.
But I can see them saying, "Yo, I'll do it,"
right.
But I can't be in the room with them because they might think it's okay.
They might not be in the same state when they do it.
No, I think they're gonna be in Atlanta.
That's a quick meetup after if something go bad.
I don't
very
think...
much. It is very much. Yo,
what you say?
What's your location right now, son? In your location, I'll be there. Definitely some of that energy.
I want to say that, even given their history, that with this, being that Swiss and them, like, I think if Swiss didn't think it would work out, he probably wouldn't have did it. You know what I'm saying? If he wasn't sure. I mean, anything can happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Anything could, anything could jump off. But I guess, I'm sure he was like probably apprehensive when, I don't know if he came up with the idea, or because you said, the word is that's what the people want, whatever that means. Like,
Because it wasn't like the people were saying, "Nah, fuck the."
Yeah, did he ask T.I. to bow out?
I saw a lot of comments about, nah, it should be Jeezy and Gucci.
I think we also, once we see Jeezy in a verses, the first person we're gonna think about should be Gucci. Just like if you see Nas in the verses, the first person you're gonna think about is gonna be Jay.
Right. He'll wash him.
Oh yeah.
No,
Jay will wash him.
He washed Nas.
We love Nas, but he would get washed.
He washed Nas in the verses.
Mm-hmm.
Nas don't have the hits. Same thing I said. Well, it was kind of different with the Tupac and what's the name? Big. I just think, I think Jay got mad
hits.
I think Jay got mad hits, more hits than Nas, and he got way more fans than Nas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, way more fans than Nas. He got more. If you got the girls, that's what I noticed when it comes to this versus too.
Mm-hmm.
If the women are rocking with you, you're gonna win.
Here's the thing, though. Even if I'm not talking about Jay or Nas specifically, or just any artist. If one artist had, like, they announced another versus, and one artist had, we all knew one artist had way more hits than the other artist. So we was like, it's going to be a wash. And like I said before, when we've talked about verses, it's all about sequences because it's about song for song.
Yeah.
If you sequence it right, you could win the verses, even though you're not in favor. You know what I'm saying?
That's what happened with Fab and Jada.
Yeah. You're right.
Jada's first song was Blackout. We should have known it was going to be a long day. Straight up. Like that's your first joint, baby.
Yeah.
Out the gate.
And then play like Victory was fourth or something?
Yeah. Son, that and then like the Made You Look remix was third.
Yeah.
And like I said, I will go to my grave saying I believe that's Jada's best verse ever. I will put it up against anything he did.
The Made You Look remix?
Yes, he cleaned up Nasir and
Ludacris.
On that. And I thought Nas had a dope verse on there, but he cleaned Nas up on that. You know what I mean? And every time I hear that song, when it come up in the shuffle, when the Jada verse go off, I instantly hit the rewind. I gotta hear that. I gotta hear his verse 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
But that's the thing with Jeezy. Jeezy has more, I think, mainstream hits that people know. And I think more Atlanta in the South will go with Atlanta proper, and the South might choose Gucci. Gucci is the people's champion in that.
I mean, but they might like a lot of Jeezy's B-side stuff better too.
True
story.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I was saying earlier about I'm excited to see the stuff that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that we haven't rocked with and played in our parties in the cars. Like what did Atlanta rock with? It could be like, yo, this is nuts. Like now I see why this was
right. It should be interesting to see that. But like I said, sequencing is always the key. Like if you do it right, because we've seen plenty of verses and I feel like they just don't play certain songs when they should be playing them. But that's our personal opinions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's whatever, you know. But I definitely look forward.
I'm looking forward to hearing great music. I'm looking forward to being no issues when it comes to the beat. You know what I'm saying? Especially this week, we've had 4 shootings, son.
Crazy.
4 shootings, 2
crazy
deaths. All right, dudes that died was nobody older than 26 years old. King Von, and 03 from Dallas. King Von is from Chicago. Right. And then Boosie got shot. And then Benny got shot 2 days ago, coming out of a Walmart. Yesterday.
At a Walmart. Yeah. No, was he in the car?
He was in a car, sitting in the car. So the news report said some cats ran up to him, 5 dudes in the car, asked for their chains. They wasn't too forthcoming with the chains. Somebody hit Benny in the leg once, and then they sped off.
Wow.
I'll never understand why shoot him if you're gonna kill him. Number one.
I was just thinking that.
Right.
If you try to rob somebody, if you shoot them, you got to go.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You get nothing.
You get into that.
You get nothing, and you shot somebody.
You got attempted murder. You got attempted aggravated robbery. You know what I'm saying? If they end up catching you, you know what I'm saying? But you went and shot somebody for no fucking reason. You didn't get the chain. So it's like, it's just too much of that shit. You know what I'm saying? We eating our, and then there's young cats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, the XXX dude was 22 years old. Yeah. And like I tell people, it's like, I don't got to be a fan of dude to empathize or sympathize with a 22-year-old losing his life. Right. Remember how dope our lives was when he was 22, 24? And the shit that followed after that.
Yeah.
And that shit get cut short over some dumb shit. It's like, at some point, it's like, yo, man, like, you got to look yourself in the mirror and be like, I didn't even get the chain. Like, I shot this dude for what? So I could tell people I shot Benny?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, is that your claim to fame now, dog? Is that what you got going on in the middle of a goddamn pandemic? We got to fight against each other. We got to fight against the cops. It's like, at some point, I'm hoping that it clicks in some of these cats. And I know every situation is different because I know the hood, it kind of turns us on each other when you're hungry or you broke. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about this shit right here. You know what I'm saying? Benny wasn't flossing. He wasn't up in the strip club throwing money. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make anybody else feel like they ain't had no money. I went to Walmart. He might have put a pack of drawers or something. Been on the road promoting his album. You're not expecting no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm hoping that these dudes will just see, like, it's another way to go about this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you could get money another way than harming or maiming your brother. You know what I'm saying? Or another human being for that matter. But we got to put us first. You know what I'm saying? We put us first, a lot of shit will change. And it's like, you get disheartened seeing that. Like, I wasn't a fan of King Von music, to be perfectly honest. I didn't hear about him until he got shot. But to see how many fans that he had means that some people had to feel him, you know what I'm saying, one way or another.
Absolutely.
Knowing he had 3 kids,
Crazy.
26 years old.
Crazy.
But when we was 26,
man,
it's a lot of life to live, man.
Lots.
A lot left.
We didn't get started living until we was 30, really.
Yeah, I mean, but we
was messing around in our 20s.
Yeah,
we ain't know no better.
But you also got to think though, what would we have been like at that age with that type of money, though?
No, I say that all the time when it comes to the.
You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. Let's be real.
I know my chain game would have been nuts. I know my watch game would have been nuts. But,
sickening.
But we know. But we've been around enough wolves to know that certain stuff you don't do when you reach a certain level. the video I saw, Homeboy set off the fight they had outside the club.
King Von?
King Von one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but and like listening to his manager, he ain't want to do nothing else but fight. Like his manager was saying, it could have went a different way early. But Vaughn was like, nah, let me just scrap.
Oh.
As his manager, you failed him.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As his boys around him, you failed him. Unless that man that he was fighting smashed his whiz or something like that, that's the only way he get that one-on-one.
Right.
And homie was 22.
If he throwing it, exactly. Wow. If he throwing any hands at all, it's like, you're not fighting nobody.
That's why they got to move smarter.
Yeah, you got to.
You over here. He like the nice high school basketball football player that just happened to be in the projects and be around thugs. And when the crazy stuff happened, the OGs or people that care about him supposed to be like, "Oh man, take your ass home."
Yeah. Now get him out of here.
Yeah, get him out of here.
Right.
You supposed to have goons around all the niggas that drank the liquor that you bought.
Yeah.
And fly in the G5 that you lease.
I told you what Westside said.
Right.
He travel with a dude that keep it on him.
Yep.
And when he fly home, homie drive home.
Yep. He drive home.
You never put the breadwinner in harm's way.
Nah.
Same thing happened with Pac in Vegas. You're not supposed to be fighting nobody in no casino. They ain't even your beef. I mean, let that go down.
Listen, I would like to see it all stop, this type of thing stop, but I don't want to be negative, but it's been happening. Like it's not. I mean, it feel like it happened a lot this week. You know what I'm saying? It's happened before. Yeah. Like it happened earlier this year with Pop Smoke. Last year with Nipsey.
That was unfortunate too.
Yeah, and it's happened all of our lives. Like there's always going to be somebody who's going to be jealous. Is going to want what you got. Always. So you just knowing how these brothers are. Y'all have to move smarter. Whatever that means for y'all. Y'all just got to figure it out and stick to it because it's crazy out here, man.
Heartbreaking though, is what it is.
Yeah.
The dudes that been on top with some longevity, they have moved smarter.
Right. Like a Drake and like, come on, it makes sense.
I give you a perfect example. You don't hear. Look, I'm quite sure there was a time when LeBron James. When LeBron was young, we used to see him out in the clubs and shit. When he came to DC, he was living out there. We used to see him in the clubs with his people.
Right.
And he had every reason for people to be jealous of him.
Yeah.
Right.
It was never no shit with them. And they didn't have thugs around them.
Right.
So, everybody say, well, the kind of music that he said, like, nigga, that's a record. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me go to the club and chill and do the same thing that you're doing to me. Mm-hmm. Let me drink some liquor. Let me holler at a couple girls. Let me go home. Let me have fun with my friends. Why is that an issue for us? You know what I'm saying? Like, why if I talk crazy stuff, it's just a record. Why you gotta test me when I come here unless I was talking to you?
That's another topic though.
Yeah.
Because we champion the authenticity, people being authentic in their music.
Right.
And chastise people we find out aren't.
Do we really? Because
yeah.
No. I'm gonna debunk all that, right? If you hear, especially early lots, they talked about selling drugs. We didn't care if they did or not. None of us did. We cared that Jada was nice.
You right?
Yeah.
We cared about his verse on the Benjamins. We didn't care if Big sold drugs or not. It didn't matter.
Different. If Drake was talking about punching people in the mouth, people would look at him funny. Like, we know you're not doing that.
Not if it came out like that.
But we already know that he's not doing that. From what I'm hearing, King Von was about the life that he was talking about. So it wasn't like he was lying. My thing is, if you hear that, and you hear this guy, you might be a fan of his if you know his music. Why are you messing with this nigga when he at the club? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you worried about what another man doing anyway at the club? That's what I'm saying. We didn't have that. We used to go out. Our section be right next to Allen Iverson's section, right next to somebody else's section. We didn't care.
Right, but then there was somebody in that club who did care and was jealous.
Yeah.
There's always somebody like that
around. Want to test
what
you're talking about.
Always somebody
There's
like
always
that
somebody want to test what you're talking about.
Always. That's like, it's not us because we're not of that mindset, but there's plenty of people that we know that don't think like we think.
Yeah.
You know what
But
I'm
it's
saying?
still ingrained in the music too. Like Jay said, he's all right, but he's not real. Like
I was an ignorant 22-year-old, right? I was also an ignorant 26-year-old at the time. We've been around, we know people that we call brothers who are extremely ignorant when it comes to these certain situations. There was always time that we could say, nah. There was always a time we could be like, nah, we ain't doing that today. Mm-hmm. There was always a time that we thought, nah, we're not doing that today. Like, I guess I'm saying your goal when you go out got to be different.
Right.
And maybe that wasn't, I'm sure, maybe their goal wasn't to get into something like that. But even the way you're moving, it's like you got 15 people with you, 15 dudes with you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 2 of them getting money. The rest of them is hired goons. Mm-hmm. Like, with all the stuff that you done seen over these years, like King Von was 26 years old.
Yeah.
You should have known a little better and known how to move a little differently when you're out here, especially when you know that you talk the shit you talk.
Yeah.
You might get tested when you're out.
And you got kids.
Like for me, I think he was brand new with rapping. Like, I think he been rapping like a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not brand
new. Probably been the street dude much longer than that.
But there's still rules with the streets. You're not new with that either. Yeah. You know you got the type of wolves around you that you need to get into some fight out of town.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I forgot they was out of town. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you got to move. When I go out of town, I move like everybody trying to get me.
Okay.
And I don't got nowhere near the money and notoriety these other cats got. Mm-hmm. I move like because I know there's wolves and they look. You don't be crazy drunk in nobody else's town when you got bottles and stuff like that. Mm-mm. Dudes that are, their industry is, I'm robbing this place in the club. I'm gonna stay here. Yeah, I might spend $1,000 at this table, but I'm gonna get 10 later on because I see how these dudes is moving. Who don't think, like if you're from the streets or you know of the streets, that part of it is a regular thing. I don't care if you think you're King Kong. You still move differently. Nobody out here bulletproof. You ain't got no vest on.
Yeah.
Right. Why you ain't got nobody telling you, son, chill? Forget that, son. Get the niggas, yo, let's go ahead. We got chicks over here. Got a big crib over there. Do all that.
Listen, man.
Unless, and not you set it off.
Right.
You know what I mean? In the midst of it, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? But when you set it off and nobody's telling you, yo, chill, and you the breadwinner.
Yeah.
Look, Dwight about to get us depressed. You looking real sad right now talking about all this, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I get it though.
But it's like, you know, I feel for these young dudes, Joe.
You know
it's life lessons though. Like they haven't lived enough.
Yeah, I want them to be able to live like we have lived and be able to look back on that fondly while we standing around our kids. And
but listen, listen. We've all been in situations that we can look back on and be like, yo, we blessed to still be here because this situation, that situation. I know me and T been in a situation that could have ended bad for us when we was at Morgan. Bad. Cancun. You know, that's some behind the scenes stuff.
That was wild.
Yeah. So you know what the point is, we've all been in situations that we could have not come back from. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Our boys would have been wearing RIP T-shirts and shit like that. But
which is crazy. Nobody likes that shit.
Yeah, you know, we just want these brothers, you know what I'm saying, these young stars in the making to move better, man, so they can stay alive, make great music and grow as artists, man, because that's losing too many young brothers, you know what I'm saying, to the street shit. You know, it's crazy. It's really crazy, and it does get upsetting. So I'm gonna have to switch it up so we don't stay upset. Let's talk about this NBA thing, baby.
Yeah, that's a move. Yeah. NBA back.
They're gonna smile. They're gonna smile. You know what I'm saying?
What they said, the 22nd?
Yeah, 22nd. December 22nd.
So let me ask y'all this real quick. Just like with football, this year it's been way more injuries, and that's because of lack of preseason. Would y'all agree with that?
Yeah.
Do you?
Well, preseason and training.
All right. Do you see that happening? Because the NBA is coming back so quickly. I mean, not everybody played, even though in the bubble, so that may not affect them. So they might have been training during or whatever. So what do y'all see coming with this new season starting in 22nd? A little bit more than a month away.
I don't know because they had so much of a break before.
Right.
So that might help out. I mean, there was a lot of slight injuries in the bubble too. Just having that time off and coming back and getting right back at it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't see the stars really.
Imagine if Dallas would have had a healthy KP this playoffs.
You said, wait.
He's not starting the season.
What?
Imagine, I was saying, Teeth talked about the injuries, and I said, imagine if Dallas would have had a healthy Porzingis.
Oh, Porzingis, right. Yeah.
This year, you know what I'm saying? With Luka doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
Clippers would have been out of here sooner.
Yeah. So, might have been tough. Might have been tough for playoff P in the claw.
It was tough for playoff P.
So White,
it is no playoff P.
It was tough for playoff P.
It was play off P. It was play off P. All right, so
give yourself a nickname, man.
See
what I did?
You're slick, yeah.
So White, what's the rundown for the new season? Like, what's like it's gonna be? It's the bubble again? Like, what can we expect?
I don't know if they're gonna have a bubble or not, but I know they were talking about. I saw something where they were talking about pods, where it would be bubbles in different parts of the country because it's 32 teams, so trying to get everybody in one spot would probably be a little harder. So West Coast teams. Southwest, Midwest, East Coast, Southeast.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Which I think could work. I always thought that the NFL should do the same thing, but anyway. But that no All-Star game, which is nuts.
Right.
Nuts.
No All-Star game. But the finals would happen during my birthday.
Okay, so in July. Okay.
Which if the world is opened up a little bit, y'all should start saving now because we're going to something. Straight up, I've never been to a finals game before. I gotta go to one of them. I don't care who plays. I know it ain't gonna be the Knicks, so it don't matter. but you know, I want to see like say the Nets is playing against
Lakers.
Like, stupid.
I got 1,500.
I gotta see two. I gotta see one here, one there.
All right. I got 1,500.
Right. You gotta expect both coasts.
Was close as we can get. I don't know how much the seats gonna cost.
Right.
I got 1,500 for as close as we can get to see that game. That's gonna be some high quality round ball. James Naismith will be down, looking down from heaven like, yes, this is what I meant when I made this shit. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Yeah, that's what's up, yo. I mean, I definitely look forward to the fact that it's coming back so soon. I'm sure has a lot of people excited, especially fans. You know what I'm saying? Because
ain't nothing on.
Exactly, ain't nothing on. Football is. I mean,
now, listen, this is supposed to be like the third week of the NBA season. On if he was doing
yeah,
on the
yeah.
You know, we're supposed to be excited right now. Kyrie and what's his name supposed to be playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I
still getting charged for my NBA pass too. I cancel that.
And I heard a couple, the Lakers out here. They were saying, "Well, I don't know if I can't see LeBron being there when it starts." I'm like, look, I can't speak for every athlete, but I'm thinking it might be maybe 4 teams that needed an extended rest. It wasn't, but maybe 12 teams in the bubble.
Yeah.
16 teams in the bubble.
Yeah.
So that means 20 of y'all should be in tip-top shape.
Everybody else is good.
Yeah. You know
Should be.
So I'm not too worried about the injuries. I think that the stars that may be older, like the LeBrons, will get load managed. But the Celtics should be good. You know what I'm saying? Nobody on their team that's worth nothing over 28 years old. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they should be good. The Nets might be a little tired, but they got out of there soon. You know what I'm saying? And Kyrie and them's coming off being
right. Yeah, exactly.
The Warriors should be good. You know
the Warriors should be great.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Absolutely.
that's a good thing. This NBA season, you're gonna see LeBron them trying to repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Might be his last season.
Right.
Kyrie and KD playing together.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State back whole again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And just a couple other, DeMarcus Cousins back. You know what I'm saying? After have some time off, being able to get in shape and all that.
Hope you get hurt again.
John Wall back. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. So I'm excited about the NBA season coming back. I know a few tired, but like T said, the majority of y'all should be good.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it all rolls out because Adam Silver is he's being praised for how he's handled this whole thing way better than the NFL did and all that stuff.
They was exceptional with it.
Yeah. So
not one positive test, And the one homie that did slip up tried to smash one of the COVID testers. If I would argue that he was the most responsible out of anybody there.
You know the best thing to come
she good. You know what I'm saying?
You know the best thing to come out of that bubble? Lemon Pepper Lou. Yo, that's the greatest nickname, son.
And he was super wild for that too.
The lie was a super wild part. That any red-blooded nigga would think that you went just for the wings. You gonna tell me you didn't get no lap dance?
Out there, I think it's different though, man. For real.
I've been to Magic City back in the day when they wasn't built like this. I can imagine how it is now. I know Lou like, yo, I got an hour, yo. I got an hour. The flight from Atlanta to Orlando gotta be what? An hour, maybe?
Right.
Yeah.
I got an hour here, and I got 15 for the PJ if I need that.
He was wild for that, though.
He was wild.
I'm gonna go in here with tropical sunshine and get some of these lemon peppers. See what's going on.
Tropical. Lucky Adam ain't dismiss him totally.
He could have. He could have. I mean, the team lost anyway, but you know, it is what it is.
The dudes that sat out, what do you think they feel? Like Avery Bradley.
I mean, they set out for specific, like they. I mean, they still
scared of Rona.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but he had one of his kids is like sick or something like that, right? Like his daughter.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That was one of the reasons, or his son or something like that. He got a young kid that isn't healthy, and I think he opted out because of that. And I totally understood that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I totally get that.
I mean, look, I ain't going to see my mom the holidays because she's scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
I understand that 100%. And it's tough for me because, you know, all my loved ones other than my kids is, you know, for the most part is you guys out the way. So if I was Avery Bradley, I can understand him saying like it ain't worth it as far as the money is concerned. I'm sure he really thought about it because he probably knew they had a good chance of winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, anybody else, you know, you play for the Suns or something like that, I can understand that. But he probably knew, like,
they're gonna be nice next season too.
Yes,
sir.
Yeah. I still say Lakers in 5, but it'll be good.
Listen, I'll say this: I wasn't mad at anybody who chose to stay out for the reasons, you know, because of Rona, because you don't know what that'll do to you. But you know, when I think about that, you know, who's not scared of the Rona, who wasn't scared of the Rona this weekend was the Million MAGA March or something like. Was that the actual name? The Million?
Something silly like that, yeah.
Exactly. See, and that's why. First of all, before we get into that, because I don't want to spend too much time on them motherfuckers anyway. But this is why. And I mean, a couple episodes ago, Latif said it best. He was like, "Our culture influences everything."
Mm-hmm.
Why y'all naming it the Million MAGA March?
Knowing y'all wasn't gonna get 1 million people out there.
You know what I'm saying?
Get your own name. Y'all got
create your own name, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
We have more people in the third Jiggy than they had at that shit.
It was like what, a couple thousand people or something like that?
Yeah.
Something
or 10, 11?
Yeah, like 10,
11,000.
Like 10, 11,000. About Freaknik early on. It's like that's how many people they had out there. And then later on, people went out there and put hands and feet on them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I heard something about that.
They tried to say
I saw some of them ripping down like some of the signs that was out there, the Black Lives Matter signs and missing kids signs and stuff.
Really?
And Malik said something. Our brother Malik said something on Facebook that was cool. He said that made sense. He was like, "It shouldn't even been no counter protesters out there. Like, go ahead, man. Do y'all little march.
Don't waste your energy.
Yeah. Do y'all little march. Y'all not worth the energy.
Right.
Y'all mad because y'all man lost. He lost. Every lawsuit,
sure?
You know, so they didn't have like 22 lawsuits thrown out.
He just said he won.
Yeah, exactly. He's old man. He George Costanza pops on Seinfeld. In a week, you about to ask Joe Biden, "You want a piece of me?"
A piece of me.
In front of the president of the United States lectern. Him and a bunch of them fucking hillbillies that they got out there, the burning hillbillies, and they giving COVID to everybody they come in contact with.
Crazy, yo.
The whole crew is burning, yo. Got a bunch of nasty ass burning hillbillies, and y'all sore losers on top of that. So and you go into jail when you leave on like January 30th. It's like 6 lawsuits about to convict you. You're mad debt.
I don't know what they was hoping to accomplish.
I could be a man and back somebody like that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what they was hoping to accomplish, but it didn't work.
No,
it didn't work.
It was one like conservative guy. He posted a video of this older white dude getting knocked out, right?
Mm-hmm. Talking
about how savages did this, that, the third. Promptly, like 2 minutes later, somebody was like, "Oh, post the whole video." Posted the whole video. That dude started the whole thing. He was pushing women, grabbing people's signs out, pushed black women, pushed white women. He was just swinging and all this other type of shit. So somebody came from behind him and gave him some act right, parked his ass right where he stood, and he wasn't moving. And I sat back and I watched that video 5 times and laughed the whole time. That's what the hell you get. And that's what they got to get. All this, I'm cool with the marching and all that early on. If y'all want to smoke, we have to let y'all know it ain't gonna be no easy win like y'all think it's gonna be.
Nah,
no.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all not gonna be talking. I'm not scared of no Proud Boy and nothing like that. Yo, my guns shoot too. I said that on Twitter. Like, keep saying some crazy shit. I'm like, this dude and his people know that we shoot back. Like, it's not gonna be no like you just showing up. Y'all don't show up around our way with 7 guns at a Starbucks. You do that shit out in Butte, Montana somewhere.
Yeah.
But you know you're not gonna get no resistance. You're not gonna go to Southeast DC and do that.
No.
You're not gonna do that in Newark. You're not gonna do that in Queens. You're not gonna do that in Harlem. You're not gonna do none of that shit. You're gonna do it where you think it's cool and nobody gonna question you on it. You know what I'm saying? Because when it really, when the get down, yeah, you go to the range and all that other type of stuff. Yo, you gotta chill. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk to us crazy and think that we gonna be scared of you. Nah, you're not talking to no 86-year-old lady. Nah.
No.
You're not gonna talk to me crazy. You're not gonna threaten us. You're not gonna intimidate us because you got a gun. What you gonna do? You gonna shoot me because I'm here at the 7-Eleven? And get your Slurpee and go ahead, man.
Right. It's, you know.
Out of these niggas, they think that they the 300.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're not that.
The 1,000 MAGA march didn't work. 1,000.
Yeah. No niggas work at you work at Jersey Mike's. I remember you, son. I came there and I yelled at you. I told you. I say I didn't want red onion. Yo, why is there red onion?
Right.
Sandwich over.
Right. You didn't have enough cold cuts on my shit.
Yeah, exactly. And then your manager comped it. He told you, and he suspended you for the week. Now you mad at me. Nah, make my sandwich the right way, dude, and we won't have these problems.
No Jersey Mike's for us.
Yeah. Right. No, I met Jersey Mike's.
Not no more. Not no more. You do.
They don't mess with you.
The special sauce for you, son.
They got my pickup in Jersey Mike's, but I couldn't do that. I can't even do it. I can't even do it Uber Eats no more. They're like, we got a special sandwich for you.
Enough about the 1,000 MAGA, whatever. The minuscule MAGA march. The minuscule MAGA march. That's what we call it. Minuscule, because it didn't mean nothing. You know, what I really want to talk about is back to our culture, not to that culture. Is and not something in a positive light, I'm sorry to say, but when it comes to support in the Black community, particularly like, because I know Latif, you brought it up, like the whole thing with, like, why don't we support each other? Like the whole thing with Tidal, especially a few years ago when Jay first bought Tidal and people was like trying to disrespect it and all. Like, I mean, it's doing great now. It's flourishing now with all the great content and stuff that it got. But why do you think he got that initial backlash? Because, I mean, this dude was doing a positive thing, like buying a streaming service and like, and our people, like, nah, it's not gonna work. I ain't get it's you know, it's fugazi or whatever they were saying about it. Like, why do you think people think about, especially people once they reach the level of success, we'd be like, oh, they don't need our money no more.
Yeah, I don't get it. Sometimes we have a problem if we see somebody at a certain level,
right,
and we support them. We buy their music, we buy their clothes, whatever.
Right.
If they branch out and do something else, it's like, oh, we don't want to give them no more money. No, they're not doing that for us. He got enough money. Why the price so high? Why is this? Why is that?
Uh-huh.
But this new iPhone just came out. Everybody going to get it.
How much is that? It's like
$1,500. Yeah. Ain't nobody saying nothing to Apple. Like,
come on.
Or the PS5.
Or the PS5.
Right.
The Japanese out there getting it.
Yeah, nobody care.
The thing is, when your defense is, oh, they don't need no more of my money. They rich enough. Well, you're gonna give your money to somebody else who's probably richer than them.
Right.
And not don't look like you. You know what I'm saying? Don't have that melanin in their skin. So
I mean, I understand if it's not the same quality, or
yeah,
something's wrong with it. It's lesser quality. But if it's the same quality, a good product, why not support it?
Right.
Like, how long did it take Puff to pop off Ciroc? Like to level it.
That's the thing. He didn't pop off Ciroc. Ciroc was already a brand.
But he made it bigger though.
Yeah, that's the thing. He made it bigger, and then he got equity in it, which is how he was supposed to do it. You know what I mean? Instead of just being a high end. You know what I mean? And what I always say this, I'm like, look, y'all can be mad at Puff all y'all want to. Did y'all create 3 charter schools?
Right.
I know he might owe some people some publishing money, but did you?
Actually, he don't.
But did you start 3?
He signed a deal.
Son, even if he do, did you start 3 charter schools?
Right.
Did you pay for Sean Bell's funeral?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, are you sending people to college like LeBron doing? Mm-hmm. I saw a stat the other day. LeBron did spend $41 million to send over 1,000 people to college.
Yep.
What possibly could you say negative about that?
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you don't want to give those guys money, but you'll give the creators of Apple money who you don't even know.
Here's the thing.
Right.
Just like we were talking about the whole, with the rappers getting shot, and there's always somebody who's going to speak negatively about you, no matter how positive you are. You know what I'm saying? That's just part of life. And we don't get it, especially when they're doing, like you said, what LeBron is doing, what Puff has done, what Jay has done, like all these successful Black entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? The CEOs.
That's the definition of hate. That's
right.
No, it's not hate just because if you don't like something somebody's doing for a legitimate reason, that's not hate.
Right. Yeah.
You have no legitimate reason not to like something.
Exactly.
It's just jealousy.
It's just jealousy. That's what real hating is. Like when people say, "Oh, you hating on me," like sometimes people don't be hating on you. They just genuinely don't like you.
Yeah.
That's not hate. Hating involves jealousy. You know what I'm saying? When you're jealous, then that's hate. I get it. They want what you have, or jealous because they're not at your level and things like that. So they got to talk something about you. Oh, the quality, it sucks. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, so I just don't get it. I mean, I really don't get it. Like you see all people doing positive things in our community and whatever. Like,
but I see that mostly with celebrities. When it comes to our community, I don't see our real community, like people that we rock with all the time.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to them starting businesses, I see a lot of support there.
I think it's definitely grown, especially with the year that we've had.
This past year.
Has grown. So you're right. I've seen a lot more support, especially with people who starting businesses and smaller things of that nature. I see a lot more support going on. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to the celeb thing, I think y'all are absolutely right when it comes to the jealousy thing. I think it's more so somebody mad that they not them. Mm-hmm. So whatever good they do, you're gonna find the bad that they do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate because we don't get no way of doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a vicious cycle. I always say that whoever did this number on us did a great job. Because I'm not among other communities, right, but I'm not sure if I see this type of infighting amongst them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not from the outside, I don't see it. No.
So like it's a real thing amongst the haves and the have-nots when it comes to us. It seems like when you have, the have-nots think you must have gotten that and you quote unquote signed a deal with the devil one way or another.
Or you took advantage of somebody.
Yeah, or you took it somebody, especially if you have a lot of means, or you have, if you real rich, then part of me understands where that comes from, because I'm sure there's somebody that works for a billionaire that is pissed off. You know what I mean?
Good point.
But I also understand business.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand, well, if I could pay somebody $30,000 to do this job and not have to give them the same thing I would have to give somebody else that I might have to give $60,000 to that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll figure out a way to do that to increase my bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a public company. I have to think about my shareholders as well, and think about what they're thinking about when it comes to their bottom line. And that's not an easy line to walk if you have some consciousness, because it's like you're trying to figure out, how you do that. Then you like, how do you get to that point and have consciousness? Can you even become a billionaire and have consciousness? That's a serious question. I think
you're in business to make money. You go into business to make money.
Yeah. But in order to acquire that amount of money, there's gonna be some people you're gonna have to walk through, as well as go. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least from their point of view. And if you do that, you're gonna hear about that once you get to that pinnacle. I
agree. You're going to have to make some decisions that's going to rub people the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better term.
Yeah. I don't know any billionaire that is loved.
Yeah. I mean, I there's a lot of broke people that I know that ain't loved. Yeah. Like, it don't fuck what other people say. They're going to talk about you anyway. So do what you got to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? If that's probably one of the biggest things I've learned over the years.
That is where the majority of us lie when it comes to that argument. I think that we want to acquire those means if we can one day, or at least be comfortable and be comfortable enough with it, and not have to step over anybody or go through anybody through unscrupulous terms or means to achieve that goal. You know what I'm saying? At some point, I think you got to be able to look yourself in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? To say, I didn't do nobody dirty. You know what I mean?
Right.
I could have done a lot of people dirty in my life when it came to business, and I didn't. You know what I mean? And it probably cost me a lot, in that particular, lane.
But you know what? You don't even have to do somebody dirty for them to talk about you, because dirty is a phrase like you can take it one way or other. What may be dirty to somebody? Yeah, subjective.
Yeah, subjective.
Yeah. What may be dirty to somebody, maybe something like you had to make an executive decision and they didn't like it.
Common sense to you.
Yeah, so they didn't like it, so you did them dirty. You know, so
therein lies the thing that Teef was talking about when it came to Puff. He was like, when I was like, yo, he may owe some people publishing, and Teef was like, no, they don't. They signed a deal.
Right.
Now, that's the practical way to look at it. Black and white. There's no other way to look at it. But the other way to look at it as, dogs, you knew that these contracts was crazy for us, you know? And if you knew they was crazy for us, you had the power as the head of the label to say, no, I'm not going to go with the industry standard. I'm going to go with something better to make sure that my artists have equity in the stuff that they sell, which is something that people like Dame Dash, for all his warts, fought a lot for artists. You know what I'm saying? People used to come to Dame to help them through stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I was there, you know? So being able to, as somebody in that position, some people are saying, well, Puff, you shouldn't just went with the industry standard. You should have said, yo, I could, I could change this up so, and be the first one to change it up. So at this point going on, people rock with me.
Yeah,
but I mean, they think I'm gonna get quote unquote jerked.
Those deals where people think that he jerked people, he was young too.
And that's always my justification for that. I'm like, yo, Puff was signing people 25 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
You put a 35, 40-page contract in front of me at 25 years old. I'm the label head. I can't say I'm gonna read all that shit.
Right.
How much do I get? That's what I'm gonna ask my yo, straight up. How much do I get?
Right.
Oh, okay, word. At 25, that's exactly what I'm going to say.
Right.
Because at some point I'm thinking, I'm giving dude an advance. He gonna make money. We going on the road. He gonna get money from the road. He doing all this stuff. I'm taking care of him. and he getting money off the records. It may not be what he, $5 off the record like everybody else can get, but he ain't getting zero either.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I took this nigga out the projects. Now he live in Jersey somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Had his mama out there, all that.
Right.
So at 25, that's how I'm thinking, not knowing nothing.
Yeah.
So that's my justification when people get on him about
and
that.
It's also the way he was taught too, from where he came from.
True.
But that's the thing to counter that.
Right.
Just because you was taught that don't mean it was right.
No, but I'm saying that's what he knew. Now he knows different. Now, if you talk to him now, he'll say, maybe some of those contracts weren't right.
Right.
And to his credit, as far as I know, he gave a lot of people their publishing back. I mean, he gave a lot of their publishing back. I know him and Mason's going through something about 2 years ago. I don't know if that ever was resolved.
I think him and Mace thing was different though. Like the way Mace left, and there's a lot of stuff there, which might be personal,
Right.
When it was laid out to me, even when I heard what Mace was saying, left in the middle of a deal and you left them cats holding a lot of accounts payable. You know what I'm saying? When it came as far as records and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, with the money that you got from that, I think Puff at that particular time was like dogs, we even. Rumor has it, the reason why Dog left like he left because he wronged somebody. That somebody that he wronged was going off his head. So he went and got, and found religion. If I'm your boss, as Puff was, and I know that's the reason why you did this, don't come back to me later on talking about no money. You messed up a whole bunch. So, as just being a man, I understand if that's the case.
Right.
I understand where Puff was coming with that too.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's the one unresolved matter when it comes to contracts and Puff.
And that cost him a lot of money too, him leaving. That cost Puff a ton of money.
That's the money I'm talking about. That's why Puff was like, you cost me money. You got 2 advances or 3 advances. I never asked for that back. And the only reason why you left because you disrespected somebody you weren't supposed to disrespect, and he was going to off your on switch. And now you're like, I got to find God to make sure I can still get through this. Nah, son. Don't come to me later talking about Nathan, bro. I get all that if that's the case.
Right.
I don't know if it's the case. But I've heard that story too many times for me not to believe it. From people that don't even know each other. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but hearing this.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But look, them I think I'm cute niggas and I can touch your girl niggas. They always end up they always end up catching the bad one in the long run. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay. I love it.
But look, there's some people you just don't test like that.
Right. No, I get it.
When somebody tell you that's so and so girl, I don't care if she come around you butt naked. You like, you know what, I'm good. Because
I like my life,
Yeah, I like my life.
Simple. Simple.
And the from what I'm hearing, as a rumor goes, the guy who he disrespected was somebody that you really not supposed to do that with. So it got hot for Mason above 110th Street for a while.
That'll learn you.
Murder.
Maybe that's the story for another day.
Murder Mace. Okay.
Murder Mace.
Almost was murdered Mace. When he went out there and joined the Baba Rumbaba people.
Gosh. Well, anyway, just
started praying to the head of lettuce.
We just want we want everybody just to start support your people, man. Support people. Everybody's starting businesses. Everybody's entrepreneurs. Everybody's doing different things, man. We need to support each other, man, because I see it happening a lot now, and I want it to continue to grow. I mean, we have plenty of us in our inner circle are entrepreneurs and doing different things that we all support each other. So if we continue to do that, it'll just grow and grow and grow, man. And I look forward to seeing what can happen from that if we continue to, support one another like that.
Yes, sir.
It's not.
So, also speaking of support, something that's been supported, especially now. I mean, Dwight, we was all talking about it earlier, but something that's very supported with people, especially in our demographic, and it ain't for the youngins no more, is that medicinal and not so medicinal, recreational marijuana, cannabis. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of us, who started smoking it when they were young, not me. I just want to say that right now. I didn't smoke weed when I was young, but now I've run into more people, adults my age, who smoke it, and no problem. Because when we were young, it was a stigma. You know what I'm saying? And it's still a slight stigma, but not anymore. I tell you what, if it didn't have a smell, it probably be most of that stigma is for the smell.
It's the smell, and the way you carry yourself when you're doing it.
Exactly. So it's good, yeah. But a lot of people my age, we was at homecoming last year when things were open outside, and I was talking to a couple of friends, and one of them, admitted that they smoke weed. I was shocked because I'd never known, and I was like, "Word?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay,"
and it's you gonna tell us off camera. Yeah, I ain't doing the podcast no more.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I was kind of shocked. Not just this, I guess, because the person that I'm talking about that I knew, I didn't realize that they partake, but no judgment because I do it myself too. I'm and Ma, if you're watching.
When did you start smoking, John?
After I turned 40.
Yeah. You remember the first time?
Probably not. No, I was probably like maybe 41, between 40 and 42 when I first started. I can't remember the first time, but probably the first time I tried it, I wasn't smoking it right. So I didn't feel anything, but then I was schooled on how to smoke, you know what I'm saying? How to inhale. So, but yeah, I mean, and ultimately, ultimately I was like, okay, I get it now. And for me, I mean, the benefits are like, like I said, we all entrepreneurs out here. We doing a lot of things, which means a lot of stress, a lot of trying to balance. So a lot of times you need to stress and that's what I do. Like, we drink wine, and we don't talk to anybody about drinking wine. So now it's like this. You should view it the same way because that's what it does. For me, it helps me relax. It helps me unwind after a stressful day. If I'm working on my music and things like that, it helps me be creative, a little more creative, things like that. And that's probably the main times I do is when I'm relaxing or when I'm working on some art or whatever. So, and I have become more comfortable with it. Like, my mom, if she watches it, like I said, she's going to be shocked, but it's okay. I got to find out sometime, so, but, no, I feel like, I grew up, and the funny thing is I grew up around weed smokers. Everybody on my block smoked weed. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time, and I never did, and they never tried to get me to smoke, but I used to hang with them. I remember one time I was hanging out with all of them, and, they went to smoke weed. I was in the car with them, and if you in the car with weed smokers, I didn't catch a contact, but I smelled like it. So I went in the house, and I smelled like weed. My mother was like, "You smoking?" Yeah. She was so mad. I was like, "Mom, I wasn't." Like, I really wasn't. But it's like it's hard to convince your mom that you're not smoking weed when your eyes are red and you smelling like weed, but you.
How she know what it smelled like?
Everybody knows what it smelled like.
Everybody was young once. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying she was.
My mom found out.
You heard what he said, Mom? You heard what he said? You know Latif, Mom. You know Latif. You know Latif. So no, and I tried to tell her that I didn't, but she didn't believe me. But I mean, eventually she did. But but now, listen, I'm not ashamed. I don't feel no way about it. Like it's what I do, and I'm comfortable with that. And and I feel a lot of that has to do with it's not like stigmatized as much.
Right.
I look at it as just like you said, John. Like it's like a glass of wine to me.
Yeah.
And relax.
Yeah.
One issue I've always had is, and this is when my mom found out I smoked, this is how I explained it to her. And I wasn't trying to, be funny about it, nothing like that. I was telling her the honest to God truth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, my mind is like a pinball machine. You see when the pinball going in, ding, 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 ding.
Mm-hmm.
My shit is like that all day. The weed is what slows the pinballs down. It actually helps me focus. Some people get unfocused. It actually helps me focus.
Mm-hmm.
Stop the pinballs from going, helps me relax. Then I can focus on whatever I'm focused on at that particular time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I started smoking probably late teens.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say smoking, I mean I smoked weed. Somebody had it, I was smoking. I wasn't buying it.
Right.
I knew mad people that sold it. I wasn't smoking like that. Full disclosure, when I was in college, probably about a year and a half, I sold weed. Mm-hmm. With one of our friends, who I remain nameless to protect the innocent, a female, a woman. And even then,
at the end of the podcast, you're gonna tell us. Oh, I ain't doing the podcast.
But you quit. And but I didn't even smoke a lot then. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I just at that point I just wasn't a regular smoker. I would smoke if I had it. And at that point I had it for somebody else to get it. So I wasn't smoking like that. It probably wasn't until I started in my corporate job after I got out of school is when I started smoking regularly. Mm-hmm. And my ex-girlfriend Lisa was the first girlfriend that I had that smoked regularly. Mm-hmm. So me and her used to smoke together. That's when I started smoking regularly. I'm not blaming her. Lisa, you seen it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all her fault. Yep.
I'm not blaming you for it, but I definitely started smoking regularly. That's when I had my weed man, you know what I'm saying? My first weed man, C's, was my regular dude. And funny thing is, C's lived in D.C. It was from Jersey City. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was just wow how it connected. So I always, I felt comfortable with him. He used to take care of me when we went over there. So then, I started smoking regularly then. But then even then, it was like I wouldn't do it during the day. So I would do it at night because tolerance and all that wasn't up then. You know what I mean? Right. Mm-hmm. Moved here to California, everything changed. Knowing that they had different types and kinds that you can smoke that don't make you sluggish. You know what I'm saying? You use oils, you can get it through the edibles and all that.
The different strains. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. While edibles is really not my thing because I saw a video where Snoop Dogg said, "Yo, I don't do edibles because you don't know what you get. Right. The brownie might be whack, or the brownie might have the illest weed you ever had in it before. You may not even know it until you smoke it. Right. So I don't really do the edibles too much, other than like candy and all that. Because that's not too crazy. But other than that, it's like when I get off, especially when my kids not here, and I'm like, glass of wine. That's why I'm waiting for the NBA to come back. Cause I'm like, that's ritual. Like glass of wine.
Right.
2 L's. L for the first half. L for the second half.
Let me ask you this: do you have you met more people like over the age of 40 that started after or in their 40, like started later on in life?
Not in their 40s, but definitely later on
in life. Okay.
Later on, yeah.
Like out of college. Mm-hmm. Some of them started like when they had kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. Okay.
And it was just like, okay, because once you get older, it's like, especially if you was partying like us, it's like, well, I can't live that life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I still like feeling, a little good every now and then, especially like you said, John, when you get creative or when you time to chill, when I got my leisure time, my me time, like we talked about before, when you can watch the basketball game or football game, so it's more chill. Mm-hmm. And even like, and I've noticed more and more women, especially over the last 5-6 years, that have admitted to like, every now and then, like I got some weed, like right up in the cabinet. Every now and then, like they may not smoke every day and all that, but when they need that, they like, you know what, I'm trying to zone out for a minute. And I've never cared about the stigma. I never wanted to be smelling like weed. That wasn't my
of course not.
I also didn't want anybody else. I didn't care if anybody else knew I was high. The only person that got to know how I'm feeling is me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was never on that. I wanted Teeth to remember that. I know you're gonna remember this when I tell him the story. Every Memorial Day in Jersey, there used to be in South Mountain in South Orange, New Jersey. They used to have like, it wasn't like a festival or anything like that, but just a whole lot of black people used to go there. You know. So one day, you remember Teeth?
Me and your dog went, right?
So one day, me, Teeth, and the dog went. Right? Girls there, do with motorcycles, cars, it's crazy. I had some trees that I had, because we drove up from Maryland, right?
I think I was up here. Y'all picked me up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, me and dog drove from Maryland. I had some trees that happened to be in my nightstand for like 3 weeks. Right? Okay. It was sealed and all that, but it was in there for like 3 weeks. So we get up there, we chilling. It's crazy around there. I'm like, so I roll up. Me and T smoke, right? I kid you not, John. It's like 3 hours later. He tapped me like, son, I don't want to be high no more. Yo, we was high for like 4 hours off one L.
It had to be something else in there, man.
Yo, 4 hours down there. We was high the whole time. And mind you, like I wasn't an everyday smoker. That's why the shit was in my shit for, in my joint for 3 weeks.
Right.
But I've never had that type of feeling when I
shit fermented, man.
That's hilarious.
Open, son. Like we was just stuck standing in the same position, like at one point for like 90 minutes. It's me and Teeth just sitting there, like with the Michael Jordan, like or the back leg joint. You know what I'm saying?
with dog shaking his head at us.
Yeah.
Judgmental ass.
It's girls we know coming and we talking to them. It's a great time,
right?
But we ain't moving. You know what I'm saying? It's hot. You know what I mean? Like, son, I'm stuck. And I'm like, I would never do that again. And I don't know what it was. Like, I was the only one that smoked it. Was regular trees, as far as I know. We had smoked it before.
Right.
But I don't know, like you said, whether it fermented or was it aged or Son, we was done for a good hour and change. And we didn't move from that one spot.
I remember that.
Yeah. Other than that, I haven't had I've had edibles, I've had cookies and brownies and all that. I haven't had the bad feeling that anybody else had. The first time I had edibles was when I came out here, though. And I was married at the time. Tony did a show at the Laugh Factory. Guy paid him with money, and then for a bonus, he gave Tone Rice Krispie treat made out of Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And Tone was like, I don't smoke, but I give it to a wife. So, I didn't know what edibles was at that time. I didn't know they, if they jump up on you like trees do or whatever, like you supposed to feel it immediately, whatever. Right. The Rice Krispie treat is about the size of a Pop-Tart, and it's about half an inch thick. Right, so this is a nice size. I'm on the couch. Mari was somewhere with Kai at the time, and I was like, it might have been 7 o'clock. I was like, I eat a quarter of the shit. I ate a quarter of the joint. 15 minutes later, I don't feel nothing. I'm like, I go eat the next quarter, so now I'm a half in. Right. I already told you that Mari and Kai was going, so I'm in the crib by myself. So I had I had like maybe glass into a jet on top of the edible.
Oh God.
I wake up on the couch fully clothed like 3 a.m. Right? Everything is off in the crib, lights is off. I immediately wake up, run in the room, Mari in there asleep, run in Kai's room, Kai in there in the crib, sleep. Next morning, I'm like, what happened? She was like, I spent 20 minutes trying to wake you up, and you was not moving. She's like, I just had to make sure you was breathing, and after a while, I started doing it, and I just went to sleep. And she was like, did you eat the edible? Actually, let me take that back. I ate the quarter of it, and then I ate the whole thing.
Okay.
Wow.
In half, ate the whole thing.
Wow.
Because like I said, I didn't feel nothing.
Right.
In the 15, 20 minutes, and I'm thinking, everybody telling me it's I'm gonna kill it immediately. You know, I don't know no better. I'm out here in LA less than a year, so I don't know. So that was the best sleep I've had in the last 20 years.
Yeah,
I wish I never made that again, because they would get rich off me. I would get one of them a week, and I would eat one of them a week. That was the best sleep I ever had. But other than like I had candy and stuff like that, no more edibles, like nothing crazy like that. I heard about edibles. He didn't listen to the warning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never really had that experience with the edibles yet. I mean, I've had a couple. I've had a brownie, but my sister-in-law actually made it, and it wasn't that strong, so it was okay. But I haven't. Like, I've heard horror stories, and I've heard stories about the edibles and all that. I'm glad I haven't experienced that on one.
Yeah, I've heard too many stories, but I'm not messing with
it. yeah.
Yo, but okay, so marijuana is recreationally legal in Maryland now, or just in DC?
You know what? I'm not sure actually. I'm not.
Jersey, they just passed it.
Yeah, I don't know about recreational though. I don't think it's recreational here yet.
I think in DC is recreational, but not in Maryland. The thing that makes Cali win for me is the variety of different ways that you can get it if you don't want to smoke. And some people don't want to put the smoke, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Like, I don't like to smoke. I won't smoke in my house.
Right. Yeah, I don't smoke in the house either.
I don't smoke in the house when the kids are here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When they ain't here, it's, you know.
I still don't want nothing smelling like weed. Like, I
I get that. I totally get that.
I got a whole regimen. You know what I'm saying? But see,
of course you do.
I'm gonna tell y'all the regimen. If you burn those Bath and Body Works candles a lot, then your crib will smell like that all the time.
Okay.
You can smoke 3 L's in your crib. The next day you wake up, it'll smell like whatever candle you burn. I burn candles all the time. I sure like candles. I burn candles all the time. I like how they smell in the crib. Mm-hmm. And I like them better than incense because I don't got to clean nothing up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know? So when I get the candles make everything smell good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it get into everything. You know what I'm saying? It get into your furniture, and get into the area rug. You know what I'm saying? I'm very rarely do I smoke in my room. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I got a pretty big living room. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I open up the sliding door, and, you know, I blow it down. I got a candle burning right now. You can't even smell it.
Yeah, my weed smoke is seasonal out here.
Seasonal. I love it.
Yeah, because I go outside.
Right. Yeah.
My weed and cigars, it's a summertime thing.
Yeah.
The reason why I upset at you, kind sir, is because you got enough space in there where you can find a little corner about 600 of that, and you can burn there and be okay. When it's 20,
I still travel.
It travels. It does travel.
It travels, man.
It travels through the vents. Travels through the vents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. Like, I love cigars. Like, in the summer, like, I smoke a cigar like every night, probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You do that outside too. You do that outside. Yeah.
I tried to get into cigars.
I can't do the cigar either.
Yeah. At one point, I was like, I'm gonna stop smoking marijuana. Mm-hmm. Cigars are more, you know, more harmful than the trees. So I'm like, well, I ain't doing that. And although I do smoke cigars sometimes, I will take trees over that 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10 if they 420 friendly. Like, I don't want to be around that. Now, I do understand people not wanting to have the smell and all that, like John said earlier with the stigma of the smell. Mm-hmm. So recently I started trying out more of the oil, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the wax and all that. Mm-hmm. And I've recently found one that I worked with, and that's another thing about Cali, is you can get the sativa, the hybrid, or the indica, just like you could, you know, in the oil, same way you could do with the flower.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, well, let me try that. Smell is less. It's not really smoke, it's vapor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The oils don't smell at all.
Much higher THC count, so I get there faster. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So once I found a couple that I liked, I'm like, all right, well, let me try these, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more. So now if I go somewhere and I say that like outside is open, but if I do, when it does open back up, and I know I don't want to, drink Jack Daniels all day,
right?
I'll grab me a oil pen, and I take that with me, even if I gotta, walk outside, take 1 or 2 hits, and then get back, because it'll get the job done if you got the right kind with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing that I love, love weed over drinking, is because drinking has way more calories, and I can get full from drinking. There's been times where I've had drinks, and I hadn't felt anything, and I'd be full, and I don't want to drink anymore, but I still wasn't nice. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'd be mad.
Drinking?
Huh? I don't know.
I'm drinking.
Probably mixed drink or something. That's I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't.
Know.
Yeah, don't judge me. All right. So but that's one thing I love over that too, is what I'm saying, that you don't get full from.
It's different feelings though from drinking and smoking though.
Oh, way different. Way different.
And one thing I can say is, smoke don't ever make me feel sluggish.
That's true.
I might be nice, but I don't feel sluggish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not saying I'm Floyd Mayweather, you know what I'm saying, when I just smoke some else, but I feel like I can defend myself, and I'm more aware of what's going on in my surroundings. And that could be from what they say, the perceived paranoia that comes along with it. But like some people get I can't concentrate on it. Like it has the exact opposite for me.
Right.
Like I hone in more when I'm like that. And I think that's from the slowdown of the pinball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, if I could find another way to go about that, maybe I will, but I haven't yet.
Right.
So, until I do, then I'm gonna, keep on doing what I'm doing.
So, listen, before we get out of here, we have this new segment, everybody. We're calling it Unpopular Opinion, and I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to let Dwight explain it. Tell us what this new segment is about. Unpopular opinion.
Well, an unpopular opinion is basically an opinion that you have that goes against what the masses or what popular opinion may be. Right. And you have facts and a pretty strong argument to back up your unpopular opinion.
Facts? Okay.
Facts?
I don't know. You can't.
Not facts with an opinion, really.
Yeah, you can't back up an opinion.
No. You could back up.
I mean, you can.
Maybe not the one we may talk about today.
Oh God.
But there are some unpopular opinions that you can speak upon that maybe it can be facts. Now there may be 9 facts that support the other people's opinion.
Right.
But there's always something that you can find that supports your opinion.
Right.
Especially nowadays, you can find a YouTube video to support anything.
Right. That's true. That is true. I mean? YouTube is.
But my brother Latif, is known for being controversial.
Not really.
In our crew, Latif is known to be quote unquote controversial, but he has strong opinions about certain things.
Known for walking to the beat of his own drum. Has an opinion he would like to share. When we spoke about this opinion earlier, I didn't want him to say it because I think me and John Pierre actually agree. Popular opinion. And I actually believe that this opinion is more popular than we actually believe.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah.
But
we'll find out for sure.
But it doesn't come across that way.
It doesn't. That's okay.
Definitely doesn't come across that way. So without further ado, the floor is yours, Mr. Latif Harris.
And your
opinion. So let me start off by saying I love all black women. They are queens, and we don't deserve them. But there is one in particular that I want to discuss. We all love music, big R&B fans, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's a singer you might have heard of. Her name is Lizzo.
Yes. Very popular.
Yeah, she has some good songs, right?
Yeah.
She has a nice voice.
Good pop songs.
Talented.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm of the opinion, though, that she is only as famous and known as she is because of her size.
Okay.
If she was smaller, not obese.
Right.
I don't think anybody would care about her.
Okay.
She'd just be another regular singer.
Right.
But she gets all of this fame, and everybody champions her because she's big. What's she doing now? Working out.
Oh wow.
She don't want to be big.
So
she wants to be big when it's convenient.
Sort of
Same
like
thing with Monique.
Sort of like how Zoe Saldana is black when it's convenient.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Hey, man. That's a story for another day.
Yeah, let's stick to the topic.
Do nothing about that though.
Yeah, let's stick to the topic. Stick to the topic.
Let's let Latif stay being the heavy on this one.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, I like her music. I like some of her songs.
No, I get it.
It's too much for her.
I get it. You think because and you know she dresses however she wants. There's nothing wrong with dressing however you want. You know, I think she be twerking and doing her little things, but she's promoting a body positive and making bigger women feel comfortable in their skin. But I agree with you about that because as popular as she is and her songs are catchy, like she's okay. Like the songs are okay. Like she's a good artist. She's not like a great album is crazy. And I heard the album. It's cool.
It's cool.
For me. It's for me. Like it's decent, but you feel like she's this. I was about to say.
Come on, John. Come on.
I was going to say she's as big as she is, and I mean big as in popular.
Come on. Yep.
Because of her size and how she. This is the thing. I think that people, or you feel the way you feel or people who feel because it might not be an unpopular opinion because you might have people that agree with you, but what I'm thinking is that because she's that size and she's doing whatever she wants to do and promote, being real proud.
As she should, yeah.
Be a proud BBW. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You're just saying the talent is not as great as you would think it is because of how popular she is.
People act like she's Beyonce or something. She's not.
Yo, this is where she went wrong. When she went to the Laker game with that dress or pants on with her ass out.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's where she went left. Because it's like
it was a lot of stuff too. Like she just.
I mean, nobody's mad at you for being big. Nobody mad at you for being proud for being big. Yo, it's whatever. But there's no reason for you to go to a public venue.
Why you at a Laker game with your ass out?
Yeah, with your ass out on seats that people like. Ma, where's your like? Don't you care about this? Like the how sanitary the seats are? You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to have your bare ass? Look, I don't even like going to the bathroom in public places. I'd rather piss outside. It's a true story. But why would you do that? And everybody Rihanna had an ass out. I'm like, yo, if Rihanna had an ass out, although I would admire it, I still would say, why the hell are you doing that at a goddamn liquor game? Like, there's no reason.
Not so loudly, though.
Yeah, not so loudly. Yeah, I said it at all. I might have thought. But,
oh God.
But we wouldn't have celebrated it like people thought that we we would have. Like, nah, even somebody who we admire like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who is a quote unquote sex symbol? We would have said, "Oh, she's doing too much." You don't have to do that. If you feel that way about yourself and you're confident like you're saying you are, you don't got to go to the Laker game with your ass.
You don't got to twerk everywhere.
You don't got to twerk everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You are actually a very talented person. You know what I'm saying? She's not Mary J. Blige, you know what I'm saying? But she's a very talented person. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like some of her songs. But she, there's no need for that. You know what I mean? And that kind of behavior, I think, sometimes overshadows her talent.
Okay.
That's what that's what she's known for now.
Yeah, exactly. And there's too much of
How many what's the last song she put out? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know either, but
I'm not a Lizzo fan.
I'm sure she'll drop an album soon.
It'll be in some commercial that we see.
And she'll do well. And
she'll do well. Yeah, she get a lot of money on that. I saw
why is she getting those opportunities?
Wait a minute.
You think she's a plant?
I was about to say, didn't somebody say that? Somebody I know. I don't know if it was somebody in our crew who said that. Think she's like an industry plans.
One of us might have said that during one of our conversations before we started this. I remember us having that
kind of crazy.
I remember us having that conversation.
It sounds familiar.
Like, yeah, exactly. But it's like,
so
why she get more notoriety than Tiana Taylor? She's not more talented than Tiana Taylor.
No, didn't have a better album.
True, definitely didn't have a better album.
Didn't have a better album. If you match the pipes against the pipes, I don't think she could sing better than Tiana Taylor either. So it was like,
I don't know.
I've heard Tiana Taylor has a song on her album, the last album that she put out. It's not an interlude, but it's like a slow song. Mm-hmm. I never heard her sing like this before, because everything I heard from her was more up tempo and dance and stuff. Son, she killed this joint. Mm-hmm. She killed this joint. I'm like, yo, okay.
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something about needing each other or something like that. I forgot the name of the song, but she killed that. And I was like, and I'm thinking back on the songs I heard from Lizzo. Now, to be honest, I haven't heard the ballad from Lizzo. She may have something on that album that's like that. I haven't heard anything like that. But I don't think that she sings better than her. She don't dance better than Tiana, although she can dance. Mm-hmm. And I think she should just be happy being what she is. All this, I think she overcompensating for it. Mm-hmm. And like I said, unfortunately, we talking about this type of shit about her other than her body. Other than her music. Mm-hmm. And that's unfortunate. And I just saw a picture of her last week that she posted like in a backyard or something, butt ass naked from behind. She looking and all. Mm-hmm. And the first thing came to my mind is the thing that Teef said, like, when's the last song you put out?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like, I like some of your songs. I want to hear what you got to say. What's going to be your follow-up? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Right. After all them, award nominations and stuff like that, all these commercials and all this money.
Right. And everybody don't got to like everything. I feel like she's trying to force us to like stuff in a certain way. Mm-hmm. And it's not, everybody don't have to like everything.
Maybe not forcing the like, but I think she forcing the respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should respect people for just being human beings. You know what I'm saying? But I guess she's saying, you should respect me for being a big girl. I think I'm sexy. I could post the same pics that, these IG chicks get mm-hmm. posted. Kim Kardashian could post.
But don't get mad if somebody doesn't like it, if that's not their preference.
That's a good point.
I agree 100%.
That's a good point. I
agree 100%. But I guess the hypocrisy in that comes in when, you know what? I can't even say it's hypocrisy. Like you said, T, it's your preference.
Right. It's your preference.
It's what you like.
Because there's a lot of people who love it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who love it.
Yeah.
And there's going to be people who don't.
What they call them, BBWs, the big beautiful women. A lot of them out here caked up.
They ain't start liking it until Drake said something.
I can't. I bet.
I'm just joking.
I bet. Yeah.
I vehemently disagree.
Right. I disagree.
Yes, I vehemently, because look, sexy is a state of mind.
Yes, yeah.
No matter how you look like it, no matter how you built. Mm-hmm. To be perfectly honest, if you feel that you're sexy and you know how to work it the right way, you could be 300 and still have people looking at you cool. In my dating life, believe me, I've had more 160, 170s than 110s. You know what I'm saying? And that's the honest to God truth. I've had more 180s than 110s and been proud of it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have an issue with that. It's still, I think it's, like I said, it's the way you carry yourself, and it's the and also those women weren't exhibitionists either.
Right.
But I wouldn't like you if you was 130 in the exhibition. That's just not my bag. You know what I'm saying? But I don't, and especially as I've gotten older, I think I've been able to appreciate sexy other than the looks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's not all about what
absolutely
people would think is traditionally sexy here.
Right.
It's the energy too. It's the energy. It's the intangibles. Yeah. Intangibles. Like you can't. You know what I'm saying?
Tiana Taylor has. Like.
Right.
If you're a big girl and you cool, and you know how to move that sexy, and your walk is mean, like that's a whole nother, thing for me. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. I get into that. I don't have no problem. You know what I'm saying? With that. I just, but like you said, John, it's the energy. It's
the energy,
confidence, and all that stuff. And I actually think women feel the same way about men. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Probably more so than us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Probably more so than us. That's a fact.
It's a lot of big dudes out here winning, and a lot of them, and all of them ain't caked up, and they, ain't just spinning for these chicks. You know what I'm saying? They cool. They know how to dress. They know how to, act, They know how to treat the woman.
Yeah.
Like, all that goes into that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like what you said, John, with the energy, that changes everything. You got the good energy. You're like, yo, I like being around Shorty. Then you're like, yo, Shorty actually smell good. You know what I'm saying? Then you looking like, yo, I like how the jeans looking, And that changes, I've actually experienced that, where you actually, one day somebody you didn't even pay attention to one day, and you see him one time, you're like, oh, yo. You people like, yo. You say it to yourself, and then you feel comfortable enough once you've seen them 2 or 3 times like that. You somebody else like, yo, for real, like so and so can get it. Like, and then the person you say it to, like, yeah, so you ain't know. You feel bad, like you was late on it, like.
Right.
I ain't know it like that.
So just to bring it back before we get out of here, that was Latif's unpopular opinion, and that's going to be a new segment. He ain't gonna be the only person who have the unpopular opinion.
Ain't gonna be the heel every week.
Yeah, he not.
Most of the time, though.
Most of the time, he will be though. Like a good 89% will be him. A good 89% will be him. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, we want to thank everybody for joining us to our podcast. Like I said, subscribe, like, share with your friends. We need to grow this thing. It takes a village, and you are our village, and we appreciate y'all. So until next time, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.